Dungeons and Dragons: Honor Among Thieves is one of the biggest surprises of 2023. The movie, now available to stream, didn't quite interest me with its trailers.
Here's the thing. We're a team of thieves. And when you do this, you're bound to make enemies.
It also rides off the name of the infamous 2000 flick Dungeons and Dragons. You remember that absolutely garbage train wreck of a film that managed to derail everyone's career? Yeah, that one.
I'm sorry.
So it's fair to say I went into this with absolutely no expectations and honestly just saw high profile actors looking for a potential paycheck. I really like Chris Pine, but I figured he had maybe his pool to renovate or something.
I memorized my lines and showed up on time, so...
While we wait for Jonathan,
Without Jonathan here.
this is a good time to remind you to, hey, maybe subscribe and hit that like button. Do your good deed for the day. Help a tot out.
That tea is scorching. I do apologize. It's scorching hot.
Imprisoned bard Edgin Darvis, played by Pine, and his loyal friend Holga Kilgore, played by Michelle Rodriguez, set off with a band of unlikely friends to stop once friend turned foe, Forge Fitzwilliam, played by Hugh Grant. Forge, through a series of elaborate concoctions, has taken over the town of Neverwinter as the newly appointed lord. The con man turned lord has also taken the reins over of Edgin's daughter whilst working with the evil Red Wizards. The merry band of rebels must band together to stop Forge, the Red Wizard, save Darvis's daughter, and hey, maybe just save the day.
Sure.
The film has been in production since the middle of 2013, with numerous different writers attached to the film. At one time, actor Joe Manganiello, a huge Dungeons & Dragons fan himself, had written a script with John Castle. The actor worked closely with Brad Payton and Dwayne Johnson, who were loosely attached to negotiations with the film. Ultimately, that fell apart, with Hasbro moving to Paramount Pictures. In mid-July, writing and directing partners Jonathan Goldstein and John Francis Daly took over to both direct and write the screenplay for the film. While I have been a bit hit or miss with their previous work, I did massively enjoy the underrated movie Game Night they did in 2018. Goldstein was big about the movie not taking itself too seriously, but at least appreciating and respecting the world of Dungeons & Dragons and their loyal fan base.
If the plan fails, the existing plan, I'd make a new plan.
So you make plans that fail?
No.
He also plays the lute.
At its heart, Dungeons & Dragons: Honor Among Thieves is a heist film.
Did you remember that job in Loudwater?
While it is filled with these vast creative lands and monsters, it's a heist movie seemingly of Ocean's 11 nostalgia.
The only thing going in that vault is treasure.
So we put the portal on some treasure.
For this, the movie works that much better. Among the many problems with the 2000 movie, its chief complaint was the ridiculous story and inability to really narratively grab the audience. Honestly, the issues could be a 10-hour essay video if you really wanted to, but I'm not going to get into it.
Unmitigated disaster.
The movie's wondrous imagination is something I have long craved at the movies, and even though my hopeless cynicism should see this as another cash-grabbing IP, which it is, it still has this playful imagination in the characters, the world, and the writing that allows for this immense enjoyment.
Hard to relive this. Without Jonathan here.
Again with this?
But he missed the most important part of my backstory.
The script is witty throughout, backed by a surprisingly good performance from Chris Pine.
What's 2 + 2? I'm bad at math.
Listen, I already said it, but I love Chris Pine. But I think we all saw his trailer for this and thought this man was in it for his paycheck.
I would rather die in agony than accept assistance from you.
You got it.
Pine Darvis is a pretty by-the-book scoundrel, but the level of charm displayed by Pine is one of a kind, elevating the material to someone you can honestly root for.
I'm the champion of failures. I lost everything that ever mattered to me, and it was all my fault.
Despite the film's entertainment intent,
All right, take me down. This is absurdly high. It's not what we discussed.
it finds a way to a gooey morsel of heart that surprisingly paid off for me. Was moments of the script and the narrative entirely predictable? Sure, but it worked for me. So maybe my cynicism is wearing off.
It's rubbish. It's just rubbish.
Dungeons and Dragons Honor Among Thieves looked like another pointless IP cash grab to me on first look.
Just because that sentence is symmetrical doesn't make it not nonsense.
The sour taste of the 2000 movie, which came out so long ago that the movie could buy its own drink at a bar, is so bad that I still have not fond memories of it. Please just, oh no, make it stop,
An unmitigated disaster.
The movie is filled with imagination, and while I'm not a fan at all of Dungeons & Dragons, I never feel it parade the mythology around for a joke. The movie remains humorous, but never too much so.
Uh-oh, wait a minute. He's coming up on a rock. Is he gonna go around? Nope. Right over the rock.
I'd rather say it was delightful. Some of the action sequences were surprisingly done well in a way that I definitely didn't expect. If you're looking to be carried away to a distant land for 2 hours, you cannot go wrong with this. I can't believe I'm going to say this, but Dungeons & Dragons Honor Among Thieves comes recommended.
Based on what I know about Jonathan, I think he'd be especially receptive to my story.
If you enjoy this review, click on this one here, and I'll see you on the next one.